Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? How y'all doing? Happy Tuesday to y'all. It's your boy Mike D, aka DDE80, aka 13 Wonder of the World, and thank y'all for joining me on this Tuesday's edition of Point of View. Shout out to the Point Place family, Bobby Reezy, M Breezy, Naya, my sister. I love all y'all. Thank y'all for listening to me on the Point of View on this Tuesday. Oh yeah, man, by the way, I am finna start on this starter kit. I've been looking up some stuff, working on some beats, man, getting ready for it, man. Probably gonna be like a seven song, about 7 songs. I ain't gonna put too many out there, not 15 and 16, probably about 7, just a little small LP or some stuff, but just to let everybody know that I'm back at it again. Good, clean, wholesome rap. Ain't nothing vulgar about what I'm gonna say on there or nothing like that. I ain't gonna be vulgar about it. But anyway, with that being said, NXT comes on in about 50 minutes. We're gonna see the fallout between Mello and Trick game, where Mello turned on Trick this past Sunday at NXT Vengeance, where Trick didn't even win. He had 2 matches and lost both of them. He lost the Dust Cup and he lost the world title match. So we'll see what happens now. I think you're gonna go into the Trick game rivalry, and then after the Trick game rivalry, Melo's probably gonna end up going to the main roster, or Trick once one of them. Both of them probably will. I think that's why they let Lola Vice beat Electra Lopez, because Lopez is now on the main roster with Santos and Alberto and Garza. But we'll see what happens with that as it folds. Lola Vice didn't even win the title, and that was another huge issue that happened also. She won all that and didn't even cash in the win. Obi beat Dragon Lee again, so they need to move Dragon Lee back to the main roster, put him back on SmackDown, have him in some thrilling matches on a national-wide station, national-wide platform, because SmackDown is a national-wide, worldwide platform. NXT is as well, but the bigger show is SmackDown and Raw. NXT could be the bigger show. They do bring in veterans back into their show to boost the ratings, to try to get the younger talent over and things like that. That's why I'm saying this, and I told somebody this last night when I was at the job. Tiffany Stratton is going to be a star on SmackDown, folks, because the way that they're potentialing her and pushing her, she is going to be a phenomenal star on SmackDown. The only thing that could get in her way is her. I don't think she's ready for Bianca. I don't think she's ready for Bailey or none of them yet. But work her up to the top. That's the way I see it. Money in the Bank is going to be interesting for the women this year, because whoever wins that Money in the Bank, I think it's going to be somebody from the SmackDown side that wins that. If Rhea Ripley retains the title at Mania, which I'm thinking that she probably will, there's going to be somebody that's going to cash in. And I say this, and I'm going to say this with nothing but respect. Whoever wins that Money in the Bank, it could be Jade Cargill or Naomi or somebody like that. They are not going to cash in on Rhea Ripley. They're going to cash in on Bailey, because there's no doubt in my mind I think Bailey's going to be the champion after Mania. That's just my thoughts on that. Moving pieces going on with the Raw recap. Shinsuke and Cody had a bull rope match. The main event, of course, Cody wins, but it looks like now he's going to be into a storyline with Drew McIntyre. This is my thought right here. If Cody does not get involved with the Roman Rock match at Mania and make it a triple threat, then Raw makes a triple threat match between Cody versus Seth versus Drew McIntyre, or you can add Sami Zayn as a fourth person. Have a fatal four-way at Mania, and Cody becomes the champion. Because here's my story on this here. They're booing my boy The Rock for what happened. They don't like that The Rock came in and stole Cody's thunder. Cody may have been irked about it, but Rock is the bigger star, man. And for people, and shout out to Fadeaway, because me and Fadeaway was just talking about this about an hour ago. He texted me. I was taking a nap. And he texted me. And he said, I know The Rock's your boy, but do you think he pulled the rug from under Cody? I said, yes, he did. But here's the issue where people fail to understand. The Rock has a stock in WWE now. He is one of the bosses of WWE. He is a boss in WWE now, along with Triple H, along with Nick Khan. Vince McMahon is out the picture. Vince McMahon got a settlement from WWE. He's no longer in there. They're trying to erase him and Brock Lesnar off the video games, which is bringing more money to them. Because here's the deal. When 2024, 2K 2024 comes out next month, let me tell you what's going to happen. And people need to realize why I'm saying this. WWE has a market where the 2K money makes a lot of money because the brand is just like NBA 2K. It's a phenomenal brand. Each superstar on there gets paid. Rock gets paid for being on 2K every year, along with Austin, Cena, Undertaker, Triple H, Roman Reigns, Cody, all these guys that are on these games. You don't think for one second that Brock Lesnar is going to be missed on this game if they erase him? Vince McMahon gets paid for being on that game, along with Shane and Stephanie. So Kurt Angle, 2K money is very, very, very important. They send them a check each month because the more we play the game, the more they get paid. Just like with the AEW game, even though people don't like it, but they get paid for that, man. But back to what I was saying about Rock. Rock is a boss of WWE now, and it was kind of messed up how he took Cody Shine, but they wanted this match. The WWE people behind the scenes wants this match, Rock versus Roman. Now here's the deal. There's two ways they're gonna play this without a shadow of doubt in my mind, unless I'm wrong. Rock's gonna be very booed at WrestleMania when he goes up against Roman. There could be a swerve where Cody gets in the match and Cody wins the title, but why would that be the way you want this to happen? You know, because Cody gets in and Cody ends up losing and this stuff like that. It ain't gonna benefit him if they do it like that. So that's one scenario that I think could possibly happen. The second scenario that I think that could happen, same result, same thing. Rock is going to get booed at WrestleMania. Roman Reigns is going to come out as a babyface in this thing. But here's where I think this could happen. Suppose Rock beats Roman at Mania, becomes the WWE Undisputed World Heavyweight Champion. Listen to what I'm going to say. And at WrestleMania Backlash, which is probably going to be the next pay-per-view after that, him and Roman and Cody goes in, and Cody becomes the champion. That could happen. But everybody knows that Rock is probably going to lose this match at Mania. And now that he has the heat on him, the fans are going to expect him to lose now. They're not going to expect him to win. WWE may make a swerve out of this and take the belt off of Roman Reigns and then put it back on him at the next pay-per-view. This is the only way I see it, because here's why I say that. Because fans are going to expect him to lose at Mania. They're not going to expect him to win. The moving parts on this situation is very, very serious. And we still have under 2 months to go with this, because WrestleMania is in April. It's not in March. It's in April. By the way, March 9th, that Saturday, the WWE is going to be at the Rapides Coliseum in Alexandria. And I'm going to try to make that event as well. This will be two pay-per-views, two wrestling shows that I've been to this year, and I want to make sure I go to this one as well. 7:30 at the Rapides Coliseum. So those that don't know, get your tickets, because it's going to be interesting. That's the road to WrestleMania. You're probably going to see some of the WWE biggest stars there as well. Probably not going to see Roman, but or Seth, but you'll probably see Cody or somebody like that. But back to Cody. Looks like Cody's probably going to be in the storyline with Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn. All these are moving parts, you know. Jey Uso now looks like he's going to go up against Gunther for the Intercontinental title. Let me remind everybody this. Gunther has an opportunity to still be the greatest Intercontinental champion of all time. Shout out to him for 600 days being the champion. What a great accomplishment that Gunther has done. Gunther has ran through him like Roman Reigns has. Sheamus is still the only guy I think that can beat him and become the Intercontinental champion. But let me say this here, and I want people to understand why I'm saying this. If Gunther is in the Money in the Bank this year, which I'm thinking that he is going to be the favorite to win that thing. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think he's going to be the favorite to win the Money in the Bank, and I think he will cash in and become the next WWE World Heavyweight Champion. If CM Punk comes back and fights Seth Rollins, but if the title's not on the line, then it doesn't matter. But they can still have a great program without the title, because Seth Rollins is a guy that can wrestle. He doesn't need a title on him to put butts in seats. Seth Rollins is one of the best at what he does. He's one of the greatest WWE superstars in the business. And I'm not going to lie to nobody and say that he's not, because he is. When they decided last year to come up with the World Heavyweight title, him and AJ Styles were the right two to fight for that title, because you could have had AJ win that title as well as Seth Rollins. But you wanted to make Seth Rollins the champion because he was on Raw. He has been a phenomenal champion, beat up and everything. He has been a phenomenal world champion, Seth Rollins has. So there's no knock against him for being the guy that he is. He's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time in WWE history. There's no doubt about it. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's one of the best at it. He's been very durable for the last year until now. You know, he's got a couple of injuries he got to take care of. What he's doing is the smart way to do it. He's still being on the show. He's not being involved in too many storylines, even though Drew McIntyre is going around trying to hurt people. But this is the way that you keep your champion on, even though he can't wrestle right now. I think a great idea if CM Punk comes back and he calls commentary. I think you put CM Punk while Booker's out. I think you put CM Punk on NXT. You send Barrett back to SmackDown. You have Vic Joseph and CM Punk there calling the action in NXT. What that would be a great way for CM Punk to still be on TV. He gets paid regardless if he's not on there or not, but still having his face on the WWE platform to let everybody know that yeah, I'm still here. I may not be wrestling, but I still could contribute to the shows. That would be a great thing if CM Punk wanted to do commentary. I think he was one of the best commentators there were when he was doing it, part AEW, as well as when he was doing it back in the day for WWE. He's good at he's good at that. So we'll see what happens with CM Punk. With that being said, also I said Jey Uso and Gunther look like they're gonna have a problem, a program and things like that. DIY versus Pete Dunne and Butch. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I mean, not Pete Dunne and Butch, excuse me. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Pete Dunne and Butch are the same person. I'm sorry about that. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that match this Friday. I think you go with Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate to go up against the Judgment Day. No disrespect to DIY. But if you're going to put the titles on them, then they have to win this whole tournament. They have to win at the Elimination Chamber. Because what's going to happen? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. People don't want to realize this. People don't want to hear this. But, and I told somebody else this, and I want people to know, I'm sorry, but the TV's in the background playing wrestling. But let me, if you hear that noise, let me tell you what's going to happen with this situation. The Judgment Day, whoever wins this match, even if it's Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, even if it's DIY, what's going to happen? I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen, folks. The thing about what's going to happen is this. Judgment Day is going to win the match at Elimination Chamber because they're still marketable. They're still the high thing that WWE's focus on. The Awesome Truth is going to have their WrestleMania moment because the Awesome Truth is going to beat them at WrestleMania. It's going to happen. Truth and Miz are going to become the next tag team champions, the undisputed tag team champions. They may not be champions long, but just that night of WrestleMania, yes, they will. Ladies and gentlemen, WrestleMania is going to be full of surprises this year. There is no way that titles don't leave off of people unless it's WrestleMania Sunday. Rock and Roman are going to fight at WrestleMania Sunday. Seth Rollins and whoever he fights is going to fight that Saturday. They're going to fight that Saturday night. And let me tell you something. WrestleMania Saturday, since they've been doing this, has been the better show. WrestleMania Sunday is the banger, but WrestleMania Saturday is the show with the surprises. So you'll see what happens at the WrestleMania Saturday. I believe at WrestleMania Saturday, Bayley becomes the SmackDown Women's Champion that Saturday. I don't put her in the ring on WrestleMania Sunday. I think you leave Becky and Rhea, if they're going to have that match, at WrestleMania Sunday with Reigns and Rock. I think Cody's story should be told that WrestleMania Saturday, not that Sunday. And I'm just talking because I think that's what it is. You're going to have a lot of matches that take place at WrestleMania Sunday. Gunther, if let me say this. Braun Breaker had an interaction with Gunther last night along with Imperium. He looked at Imperium when they came in. This is the same way that Jey Uso did it. I don't think Jey Uso's going to beat Gunther, but I think Braun Breaker can. This would be a historical moment if Braun Breaker signs with Raw, which I think he will. He goes in the ring and he challenges Gunther and beats Gunther for the Intercontinental title. Braun Breaker would be a great Intercontinental champion. Gunther is one of the greatest Intercontinental champions there is. If Gunther loses, he has, ladies and gentlemen, he has to be one of the favorites to win the Money in the Bank. He has to. He has to be. The world title has got to be in Gunther's plans, folks. And I think that if Gunther wins, then Kaiser and Vinci becomes the tag team champions. Because if you want to build Imperium up to be that type of stuff like the Bloodline was, where the Usos had the tag team titles and Roman was the world champion, and remember at times Solo was the NXT North America champion, they were a roster of champions. Just like with the Judgment Day. You have, except for Dirty Dom, who's no longer the NXT North America champion, but at one time you had the tag team champions with Balor and Priest, Money in the Bank with Priest, the women's world champion, which is Rhea Ripley, and Dominic Mysterio, the North America champion. That's where you have it like Evolution type, where every four horsemen, where everybody in the circle has titles. And that's how you do it. The Hurt Business was the same way. Bobby Lashley was the world champion. Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander were the tag team champions. And one-time MVP was parading around with the U.S. title. Man, I'm telling you, that's the way you make a faction. The faction has to have the champions. But I'm saying this for a reason because Braun Breaker looks like he's going to sign with Raw. Everybody can't go to SmackDown. Somebody has to go to Raw. I think Jay Cargill goes to Raw because they've already got Naomi and they already got Tiffany Stratton. You're not going to get all the firepower when you get Naomi. Not Naomi, but Jay Cargill. Jay Cargill needs to be on Raw where she can establish herself on the flagship. No disrespect to SmackDown. I love SmackDown. SmackDown has been Roman Reigns' show for the last 4 years. The Usos were a part of that. Now you have two Usos now in Sokola and Jimmy, not Jay. Jay's on Raw by itself. Next week you're gonna see the New Day and the Uso against Imperium. So they're gonna group back up, and this will be a great thing if Jey Uso could become the Intercontinental Champion. But I don't see it, folks. It's got to make sense to me if they're going to take the Intercontinental title off of Gunther. He's got to have a big WrestleMania match, and he's got to win Money in the Bank. It's just that plain simple. That is what's got to happen. Not only that, but the Kabuki Warriors beat Carter and Chance. We knew that was going to happen. Becky Lynch is now in the Elimination Chamber. She beat Shayna Baszler. Next week is going to be Zoe Stark against Liv Morgan. There's no doubt in my mind Liv Morgan is going to win because Liv Morgan also wants a piece of Rhea Ripley for what happened. Rhea Ripley was the reason why she was injured. So this is what we're going to see with that. What else happened on Raw? The Viking Raiders squashed Alpha Academy. They need to do something about this rivalry, man. This rivalry has been going on for too long and it's boring. I know that they're trying to make Ivor this big giant stopper or whatever, but you're getting the girl Maxine creamed. Sarah Logan is something. Why not put Sarah Logan in a title hunt for the women's title? Why not put her up against Rhea Ripley? She's not going to win, but yet and still make something happen like that, guys. And another thing, you need to do something with Alpha Academy. You had them on NXT where you had Chad Gable go up against Noam Dar. Why not put him and Otis in the tag team division in NXT? That's where you need to go with that. because they're not doing anything on the main roster right now. Chad Gable has not wrestled since he lost that match to Ivor. Come on, man. Otis and they're trying to make them comedian wrestlers, which Chad Gable is one of the most talented guys in the business because he reminds me of Kurt Angle. If he was to go to SmackDown, he'd get lost in the shuffles. That's simple. And this is why I say what I say about Alpha Academy. They're too good of a tag team to be going through this. You should put these guys back in NXT and let them become the NXT Tag Team Champions. Give them a run. Give them a refresher because their characters and their stories are not what's up. Going up against these Viking Raiders, this is not what it is, folks. I want to see Bronson Reed go up against Ivar. That's what I want to see. Another person that they're not giving. This guy was on Raw last week. He lost to Jey Uso. Guess where he was this week? He wasn't even on TV. He was on main event going up against Apollo Crews, a guy that's been on main event since last year. Apollo Crews is on main event each week, almost each week. Apollo Crews was one of the greatest black wrestlers in the business. He went to NXT in this second run and didn't do nothing, but was there. They brought him back to the main roster, and he has not had too many main roster matches. He's on main event all the time. And let me tell you something. When that happens, there's nine times out of 10, you're going to stay there. Tegan and Natalya was on there last night. They went up against Piper and Chelsea. And right now it looks like Tegan and Natalya are starting to stir up a little rivalry between them. We'll see what happens with that as well. Raw was like I said, Raw was interesting. We saw some great matches. We saw, a lot of great things happen on Raw. The Creed brothers, man, they are what it is. They just need to be a little more patient with them, and those guys will become the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Champions. This is what I'm telling Triple H. Split these titles back up, man. Give Raw a set of tag team titles. Give SmackDown a set of tag team championships. Therefore, you can make things happen with more tag teams. That's just my theory on that. That's my thought on it. I'm hoping that everything goes great with you guys tonight. Last night, I will say this. Last night, the Warriors and the Lakers won. I don't know what's going on with the Bucks. The Bucks are playing the Suns tonight. They got them not winning that game. I don't know what's going on with the Milwaukee Bucks. Doc Rivers is their coach. Do they need to make some moves? I think they're probably going to stand pat. With this trade deadline, folks, tomorrow and Thursday, believe me when I tell you this, if they don't start making any trades tonight, you're going to see tomorrow where a slew of teams make trades. The Lakers need to get Dejounte Murray from Atlanta. I know they don't want to trade D'Lo because D'Lo's been playing great. But, man, you can stand pat, but I don't think that it's going to be enough for you guys to get to the championship, man. The way that you do this, you're going to have to play hardcore basketball. They need a third star to make this happen. The Clippers are playing great, folks. I would not be shocked if the Clippers do not come out of the West this year. Kawhi Leonard has a chance. Listen to me closely. Kawhi Leonard has a chance to get his third championship this year with 3 different teams. He will be 1 championship behind LeBron James and Steph Curry. and Klay Thompson. And speaking of Klay Thompson was benched last night. Steve Kerr's job, he's going to get fired, or he's going to walk away from Golden State. The aura that they have in the Oracle Arena, it's not there anymore, folks. They won last night against, who did they play last night? Was it yeah, they beat the Nets last night. With Steph Curry was the only one I think was shooting threes on the team. Man, I think they went like 4-3 for 20 something. I can't remember. Terrible 3-point shooting. But Klay Thompson, he's not washed, but he's not himself right now. He's frustrated. He's frustrated because they benched him in the fourth quarter. And even though the Warriors won, even though Steph was out there, man, Klay's got to get the magic back, man. Klay's got to get the touch back, the Midas touch. Let me say that. What he was doing in basketball. This is one of the greatest players to ever shoot the ball, man. Klay Thompson is a 4-time NBA champion. Klay Thompson came back from 2 Achilles tears and won a championship 2 years ago. I am here to tell you, I don't think they're going to trade him. It would be interesting to see if they trade him. But the Lakers could use him, believe it or not. Philly could use him right now since I'll get on the Joel Embiid situation in a minute. But the Warriors are not even in the play-in. Do I think they can get to the 10 spot? Yes, I think they can. I think with Steph Curry, you can manage a little 5 to 6 game winning streak and get to the NBA championship. But folks, I'm telling you, the Warriors are not the same anymore, man. The guys are getting older. Steph Curry's getting older, along with Draymond Green, along with Klay Thompson. Andrew Wiggins is not himself. They're thinking about moving him. GP is out. He's injured. So they're not the same team. And the thing about it is this. Where do they go from now? But I'm telling you guys, the next 2 days, you're gonna see, excuse me, my stomach's growling. I gotta eat. The next 2 days, you're going to start seeing a lot of trade pieces going on, man, because they can't help it. They've got to make a move in order for these guys to get better, man. They've got to make a play so that, the Warriors can stay in it, because the Clippers are one of the best teams in the Western Conference, as well as the Nuggets, as well as the Timberwolves and the Thunder. So, they got to figure that out. Ladies and gentlemen, also, let me talk about Joel Embiid for a minute. Joel Embiid is out. They say 4 weeks. I think you shut him down for the season because he might get hurt again. That's my theory. That's my thought on that. But if he's going to try to come back and muscle up and play, more power to him. But I think you bench him until he can get himself fully healthy. Joel Embiid has had problems with his legs and his meniscus in the past. But we'll see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the NBA tonight. Enjoy NXT. I'm Mike D. God bless you. God keep you. Finna go get me something to eat because my hunger pains are hitting. And enjoy your night. God bless you.